back on their videos. So today we are going to be going over, of course, the gameplay of the new characters. I didn't cover in the other video. The other video was more informational. This one's going to be information geared towards the actual characters themselves. Let's get right into it. So obviously we already know that they're both green. Obviously these mobs that they're fighting, they aren't weak to green, so just keep that in mind when we're going over it. There's a couple things to note here. Obviously he does have infinite, so he's not going to be able to take any damage. In terms of skills, we can see that he's still not going to really cost like any cursed energy or anything for his skills. So skill 1 is going to be a debuff. This is a single target attack that's going to lower the amount of damage that an enemy deals. This is going to be good for like boss fights. Then you have skill 2. So skill 2 is going to be a damage attacking skill, which also buffs. Now it looks to be a new icon in the actual in the actual other video that I did talk about. He does have these cores. When you get to 8 times of cores, you get like almost 200% curse damage. So what I'm assuming is this is what the cores are, and you're able to stack up these cores, eventually, you know, dealing a lot more damage than you did previously. Maybe he stacks the cores and then he releases all cores when he uses his ult. Then you have your skill 3, which is a buffing skill. This is going to charge your special gauge. And then you have your ult, which your ult is going to deal damage, but it also looks like you're also going to be able to charge your special gauge off of after your ult as well. So he probably won't lock himself out after his ult, and he probably won't disappear after his ult if they're giving him a buff like that. So they're going to use skill 3 to buff him up with charge his special gauge. We have Team Geto here. We don't care about him. We already know what he can do. So first things up with Shoko, as you can see here, skill 1, the one that costs you nothing, is also going to provide her cursed energy. I don't know how much. I'm assuming it's probably going to be like 5 or something. Nothing crazy. If it's like 10, that's going to be insane because she's going to have so much like cursed energy, like maintenance or kind of like regen or whatever you want to say. Then you have your skill 2. Your skill 2 is going to be able to buff your curse and your physical damage for your green allies, from what the information we gathered when they gave us the character breakdown. And then you have your skill 3, which is going to be a heal, and this heal is most likely, I'd have to say, probably a single target heal, with her ult being the AoE heal. So he uses it. Yeah, he just gets special gauge, that's it. Then she uses her buff, and then everybody gets the buff. I see here there's another icon. I don't remember what this icon is, but yeah, she did proc something else. Right, so obviously Gojo's not getting hit. As usual, Gojo not getting hit. Another thing to note is you can see the amount of the numbers on your special gauge. So that's also important to know, because now you're able to kind of pinpoint how much special gauge you're going to be needing for your special. Now they're going to use skill 2, so we're going to get some more information here. And then she's still going to spam skill 2 again. Okay. This is a single target attack. And then it gives him... Let me just zoom in real quick. It gives him a stack. It gives him 2 stacks of these cores every time you use skill 2. And then as you can see right here on your ult, it costs 1,168. No, not ult. This is like another buff. So he gets a... Okay, so he gets like a skill enhancement based on when he has cores. Right? Or is that his ult? Yeah, he does. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, that's different. That's different. So he got like holy shit, he got like 600 special gauge after he applied the buff and then attacked with his skill 2. That's a lot. He charges really fast. Holy shit. And then, okay, I did say 2, but it looks like he only got 1, right? Which means they did another turn where they used skill 2 again. So that got him two of the cores here. That's what I'm gonna call them, cores, right? So they did 2 turns just now, getting a core each turn. So you only get 1 each. And then as you can see, skill 3 here, he's able to use his special gauge. He's able to use his special gauge, which is very interesting. This is definitely a lot different than how other characters function. So skill 2 charges ult. Excuse me, skill 3 charges ult. Skill 2 provides cores. When you have cores, you change the skill based on how, I guess, your special gauge. If your special gauge is full, then your skill 3 changes into this. Okay, that's where he awakens. Okay, so his skill 3 awakens him. And then she has 10 curse energy. And then, yeah, it gives her 5 curse energy when you use your skill 1, which I kind of assume so. Okay, now his skill 3, when he's in the awakened stance, provides him a damage buff. Okay, so he's definitely a little bit more interesting compared to a lot of other characters. He does a lot of different things. Being his skill 2 is kind of like a core charge, which gives him cores, and once you get a certain amount of cores, you're able to use different things. Then his skill 3 obviously provides special gauge charge, but then after the special gauge charge, once you have enough special gauge, then you are able to go into the awakened state with your skill 3, and then after you're in the awakened state with your skill 3 is now a damage buff. Yeah, very interesting. So he has different stages to how his character functions, right? Okay, hold on. We have to see that. So when he uses his skill 3, which I did say it was a damage buff, it's also a counter buff. So he is able to counter the enemy when you use this, which is insane. That's already insane because we already know how Gojos are inflated in stats. He's probably going to be countering for crazy amounts of damage. I don't even know what to say. That's going to be insane. You have the fact that he's able to like not get damaged. And then when he's in the awakened state, it doesn't look like he's able to like dodge damage, but it looks like he counters damage rather than dodging damage. Yeah, because I don't see the infinite effect anymore, but he has counter. And she buffs. Let's see. Hopefully, the enemy will attack him. Yep. So basically, he counters and he uses red on them. GG. And then it buffs him. It gives him a curse buff, and then it gives him a core. So he's able to, bro, he has so many levels to him. He's going to be insane, though. Oh, my God. A skill 2 that gives him cores to start up, and then your skill 3, which charges your special gauge. And then after that, once you hit your special gauge to the max, then you're able to use your skill 3 again, which puts you into the awakened state. And then the awakened state then allows you to counter, and then on top of that you are able, excuse me, not the counter, but the awakened state allows you to, of course, you know, it's like everything. It's just insane, bro. You're basically in a different state, and once you start charging your ult again, I'm assuming that's when you're actually going to be able to use your ult. And you're also able to counter if you use your skill 3 because it gives you a damage buff. It also, like, you know, it gives you cores. Bro, it's insane so far. Okay, so we see here he now has skill 1, his skill 2, they're different, right? Once he's in the awakened state, all your other skills change. Skill 1 still seems to do the same thing in terms of debuffing, and of course skill 2 is the same in terms of buffing. I'm sure the amount, of course, that you get is going to be different. It might be a lot more than just one. Oh, and it's AoE now. Hold on. I just saw something when he hit that. Did this give him... Okay, so it gave him, like, damage immunity when he did that. Or maybe that was into this turn and that's what popped up. That's probably what happened. It was into this turn that he got the damage immunity. I just need to see more of the actual statistics and like everything that's on paper. But so far from what I've seen, he's insane. Like, he's actually insane. Okay, so his attack is obviously an AoE attack. We still didn't get to see Shoko's like skill 3, but we are gonna see her ult here. Okay, so she heals and buffs. He heals and buffs. It gives you a heal and a buff. Yeah, it heals and it gives you buff, so that's going to be a good ult. And then he uses his ult. Okay, it's single target, right? Yeah, I mean, it was quite a lot to go over, but yeah, I mean, I'll go over it one more time if you didn't quite understand how his kit works. So basically, he has a skill 1, and this skill 1 debuffs the enemy, reducing the amount of damage they do. It's only single target. Then you have skill 2. I'm pretty sure that one's also single target, and this gives you cores. And the more cores you have, the more damage you deal. Then you have a skill 3, and your skill 3, what it does is it provides you a special gauge charge rate up. And then obviously it changes once you fill your special gauge, it changes. Let's see if I can find it real quick. So once you have your special gauge filled, it changes and the skill changes into something else. So what you see here is going to be you being able to enter this is basically going to be your enter the awakened state. And when you are in the awakened state, this will change the overall like effect of all your skills. So the first time you charge your special gauge, you are going to be able to go into the awakened state before using your ult. I think your ult is probably going to be conditional and only be able to be used in the awakened state. So this will always be locked off. So in a way, it's kind of like Panda, where Panda will ult and then turn into the beast form, and then you would ult again to do more damage with his ult. Something like that of the sort. But yeah, his skills are going to change when we go into the trance state. So let me just get past to another point. Okay, so here is obviously after. So what you can see here is his skills kind of remain the same in terms of effect, minus his skill 3. So his skill 3 here is going to provide him a damage dealt buff and a counter effect, allowing him to counter enemies. And then you have your skill 2, which still gives you cores. Now, I don't know how much it gives you because they didn't show how much it gives you in the awakened state. And your skill 1, instead of it being a single target damage dealt debuff on the enemies, it is now an AoE damage dealt debuff to all the enemies. Also, when you are in the countered state, like when you go into the awakened state and then use your skill 3 to buff yourself and get a counter effect, you also can stack cores when you do counter the enemy. And then once you stack your ult again, then you're able to, once you stack your special gauge again, then you're able to use your ult, and then boom, you're basically gonna just fucking nuke them. So yeah, he has a lot of survivability. He does have a lot of, phases into his abilities, but he is definitely powerful indeed. I would have to say, just based off of everything we see, having, immunity, having self buffs, having counters, damage increases from how many cores you have, things like that. He's already looking insanely strong right now, right? And then Shoko, obviously in Shoko's case, she's very simple on what she does. We'll go back to that. For Shoko, skill 1, this is going to give you 5 curse energy when you attack with it. Your skill 2 is going to give you, a buff for curse and physical green types. I'm pretty sure it's green type specifically. And then you have your skill 3, which is going to be a heal. They didn't show it, so I don't know if it's a AoE heal or a single target heal. But if I had to take a guess, it's probably going to be a single target heal. It only costs 10 curse energy, so it's very efficient. You can use it practically every turn with no problem, which is very nice. So I'm assuming it has to be single target. Like, there's no way they're going to make that AoE, because then she'd be infinite healing. Then you're going to have your ult, which is also going to be an AoE heal, but not only an AoE heal, it's also going to buff your team's damage. I don't know by how much, but obviously when we get a little bit closer to the release of them, we'll have a little bit more information, and then we can talk about what how good they're actually going to be. But just based off of what they do already, the Honored One Gojo, he's going to be insane. He's definitely going to be the top DPS for Korean, no doubt about it. He just does a lot of damage. It does take a lot of setup, but I feel like once you get that setup going, I don't think he's going to be stopped. Literally, I don't think he's going to be stopped. We did see that he did take some damage here when he was in the awakened state, meaning that even though he doesn't have infinite anymore and he has a chance to counter, we need to see how much the chance to counter is, because you're still going to be able to take damage once you're in the awakened state. Anyways, you're going to have probably Shoko on that team anyway, so you can heal him. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem, but we'll see. Anyways, that's basically going to be all the information regarding the characters. When we get a little bit more, we'll talk about them some more, and where they will kind of end up in the actual tier list and stuff like that. But just based off of what I see, they're going to be tremendous characters in the future of the game. Anyways, I appreciate you boys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.